The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas Stanley and William Danko. Thomas Stanley and William Danko were pioneering researchers who spent decades studying the real habits of America's wealthy. Their groundbreaking book, The Millionaire Next Door, through extensive surveys and data, uncovers common traits that define these prodigious accumulators of wealth. It is an essential guide for anyone seeking to build lasting wealth not through lottery wins or celebrity, but through consistent, disciplined financial habits and a mindset of independence. Introduction. We have been conditioned to picture millionaires as flamboyant, luxury-loving celebrities, but this image is a myth. The true face of wealth in America is the millionaire next door, your unassuming neighbor living in a modest house, driving a used car, and quietly running a mundane business. These individuals are the prodigious accumulators of wealth, who have built their fortunes not through staggering incomes, but through decades of discipline, frugality, and hard work. In contrast are the under-accumulators of wealth, high-income earners who live a big-hat, no-cattle lifestyle, spending everything they make on status symbols to appear rich while having little actual net worth. This book is the result of a massive national study of millionaires, and it will reveal the 7 common traits that separate them. It will show you that you aren't what you drive, that true wealth is about what you accumulate and keep, not what you earn and spend. Get ready to meet the real wealthy, and to learn how their surprisingly simple habits can guide your own path to financial independence. 1. Meet the millionaire next door. Forget the stereotype of the jet-setting millionaire. The typical millionaire in America is a 57-year-old man, a self-employed business owner who lives in a middle-class neighborhood you would never glance at twice. He is likely married with children and has a net worth of approximately $3.7 million. His wealth is not visible because he does not spend it on status symbols. He is part of the invisible wealthy. His fortune was built by owning a mundane, often unglamorous business, like a welding contract, a pest control operation, or a mobile home park. These are the prodigious accumulators of wealth. To understand how they compare to others, here is a simple wealth equation. Your expected net worth is your age multiplied by your pre-tax annual income, divided by 10. If your actual net worth is twice this amount or more, you are a prodigious accumulator of wealth. If it is half or less, you are an under-accumulator, someone who earns a good income but spends most or all of it. The prodigious accumulator driving a 3-year-old Ford is likely far wealthier than the under-accumulator driving a new BMW. The foundation of financial independence is not what you earn, but what you keep, and the first step is to understand where you stand using this simple, powerful formula. 2. Frugal, frugal, frugal. Prodigious accumulators of wealth live a frugal lifestyle. Frugal does not mean cheap. It means being a conscious and efficient allocator of capital. Wasting money is seen as a fundamental failure. These individuals are value-conscious consumers. They are more likely to purchase pre-owned cars than new luxury models. They buy quality suits, but wear them for many years. They use coupons and wait for sales. This disciplined approach extends to meticulous budgeting and financial planning. The vast majority of millionaires know their annual household income and expenses down to the dollar. This control over their cash flow is non-negotiable. A significant threat to this discipline is economic outpatient care, the practice of providing substantial financial subsidies to adult children. Such gifts can prevent the development of frugal habits in the next generation. The ultimate purpose of this frugality is not deprivation, but liberation. By minimizing expenses, they free up resources for investing. Every dollar not spent on a depreciating asset is a dollar that can be invested in income-generating assets like businesses, stocks, and real estate. This creates a powerful virtuous cycle where invested capital generates more capital, accelerating the path to financial independence. Frugality is the engine that powers this entire process, transforming earned income into lasting wealth. 3. Time, energy, and money. Prodigious accumulators of wealth understand the critical principle of efficient allocation. They strategically allocate their time, energy, and money toward activities that build net worth, consciously avoiding distractions and expenditures that do not contribute to this goal. This is evident in the time versus money trade-off, where millionaires consistently spend a significantly greater amount of time planning their investments and managing their finances compared to the average person. Their focus remains squarely on wealth-building activities, such as researching new business opportunities, analyzing stock portfolios, or finding tax efficiencies, rather than on leisure or consumption. A key behavior underpinning this is the strict habit of avoiding lifestyle inflation. When their income rises, they do not proportionally increase their standard of living. Instead, they channel the surplus directly into investments, allowing their asset base to compound. This disciplined approach is fundamentally tied to the self-made ethic that defines the majority of millionaires. Approximately 80% are first-generation affluent, having built their fortunes from the ground up through their own efforts and financial discipline, not through inheritance. Their wealth is a product of consistent, deliberate choices to direct their most valuable resources, time, energy, and capital, toward a single, long-term objective. This focused allocation is what separates them from those who earn similar incomes but fail to accumulate significant assets. 4. You are not what you drive. A central paradox of wealth in America is that those who possess it rarely feel the need to display it through expensive status symbols. The data reveals a stark contrast in car ownership. Millionaires are far more likely to drive a Ford, a Chevrolet, or a Toyota than a luxury brand like a BMW or a Mercedes-Benz. This is the status symbol paradox in action. Genuine wealth does not require validation through conspicuous consumption. This behavior directly challenges the false display of wealth common among high-income, low-net-worth individuals who prioritize appearing rich over being rich. A high income does not guarantee a high net worth. In fact, it often correlates with higher spending that can erode the ability to accumulate assets. The economic cost of status is immense. The money spent on leasing a new luxury car every few years, along with higher insurance and maintenance, represents a significant outflow of capital that could otherwise be invested. This continuous financial drain directly inhibits wealth accumulation, trapping individuals in a cycle of earning and spending. The millionaire next door understands that a car is a depreciating liability, not an investment or a measure of self-worth. Their choice of vehicle reflects a deeper financial principle, the rejection of social pressures to conform to a high-consumption lifestyle in favor of the quiet, secure reality of genuine financial independence. 5. Economic outpatient care. A significant factor influencing wealth accumulation across generations is economic outpatient care, the practice of affluent parents providing regular financial subsidies to their adult children. These subsidies can take the form of down payments for houses, car purchases, private school tuition for grandchildren, or outright cash gifts. While well-intentioned, this support often creates a damaging dependence versus independence dynamic. The adult children, or recipients, become reliant on this external funding and frequently fail to develop the crucial habits of budgeting, frugality, and disciplined investing that are essential for building their own wealth. Analysis of gift tax data reveals the enormous scale of these intergenerational wealth transfers. The consequence is the underachieving heirs phenomenon, where children who receive substantial economic outpatient care typically have lower incomes and accumulate significantly less wealth than their self-made counterparts from similar backgrounds. They often develop a high-consumption lifestyle funded by their parents, which they cannot sustain on their own earned income. This dynamic has a dual wealth destruction effect. It gradually depletes the parent's nest egg, hindering their own financial security, while simultaneously failing to produce financially competent and independent offspring. The cycle of dependence can continue into the next generation, ultimately eroding a family's fortune. The most valuable inheritance is not cash, but the installation of financial discipline and the opportunity for children to build their own wealth through hard work and prudent habits. 6. Affirmative action, family style. Affluent families often practice their own form of affirmative action by providing children with substantial advantages that level the playing field. This support includes elite private education, access to influential networks, business introductions, and direct financial capital. Parents provide entrepreneurial advantages by funding business startups, offering client referrals, and establishing joint ventures. These wealth transmission mechanisms create a significant head start through trust funds, educational funding, and business partnerships. This family support creates a distinction between self-made entrepreneurs who build wealth independently and those with assisted success through inherited advantages. The data shows that children receiving this support often enter lucrative professions or successful business ventures with minimal personal investment. This intergenerational transfer of privilege represents a powerful form of economic advantage that operates alongside individual merit. The family affirmative action system demonstrates how wealth perpetuates across generations through deliberate transfer of opportunities and resources. The research contrasts the achievement patterns of those who receive substantial family support versus those who must rely solely on their own capabilities and market opportunities. This analysis reveals how family resources can create economic success independent of traditional measures of individual achievement or qualification. 7. Find your niche. Prodigious accumulators of wealth typically build their fortunes by identifying and dominating specialized market niches. These are often dull, normal businesses that attract little attention or competition. Examples include dry cleaning operations, welding services, sandblasting contractors, and mobile home park management. These niches offer the advantage of low competition but maintain steady consumer demand. The business owner benefits from the owner-manager advantage by maintaining direct control over operations and expenses. Self-employment data shows a strong correlation between business ownership and wealth accumulation. These entrepreneurs avoid highly competitive glamour industries in favor of essential services with reliable profit margins. The niche strategy allows for focused expertise development and efficient resource allocation. Business owners in these sectors typically understand every aspect of their operation from production to financial management. This comprehensive knowledge enables better decision-making and cost control. The selection of a viable niche represents a critical early decision in the wealth-building process. Successful niche operators often describe their business as boring but profitable, emphasizing function over prestige. This approach contrasts sharply with high-visibility industries where competition erodes profitability. Ordinary businesses serving basic community needs can generate extraordinary wealth over time through consistent operation and prudent financial management. Market selection emerges as a fundamental component of the wealth accumulation process, with niche dominance providing sustainable economic advantages. 8. Jobs, millionaires versus heirs. Occupational distribution data reveals distinct career patterns between self-made millionaires and wealth heirs. Self-made millionaires are predominantly business owners rather than salaried corporate executives. They establish and operate enterprises across various sectors. Heirs follow different career paths, often selecting professions with lower entrepreneurial requirements. The business owner versus corporate executive contrast shows higher wealth accumulation among entrepreneurs. Their career patterns include more roles in inherited family businesses or professional positions without ownership stakes. A wealth conservation versus wealth creation dynamic separates these groups. Heirs typically focus on preserving inherited assets through conservative management. Self-made millionaires engage in active wealth creation through business development and expansion. Risk tolerance levels differ significantly between these populations. Entrepreneurs demonstrate higher acceptance of financial and career uncertainty. Business ownership involves substantial personal investment and potential failure. Corporate positions and inherited wealth provide more predictable income streams. The data indicates that business owners represent the majority of high net worth individuals without inheritance. Occupational choices directly influence wealth building capacity and financial independence. Self-employment provides greater control over income potential and asset growth. The research documents clear correlations between entrepreneurial activity and substantial wealth accumulation independent of family background. 9. A look ahead. The wealth-building blueprint combines frugality, disciplined investing, and entrepreneurial effort. Future trends suggest increasing wealth concentration among business owners and educated professionals. Education and wealth correlation shows advanced degrees often correlate with higher net worth, though not necessarily higher income. Geographic distribution patterns reveal millionaire concentrations in specific regions with business-friendly environments. Lifestyle maintenance presents challenges for subsequent generations. Economic outpatient care can undermine financial independence in heirs. The self-employed consistently outperform salaried workers in wealth accumulation. Niche market dominance remains a reliable path to financial success. Prodigious accumulators share common behavioral traits across demographic groups. Budgeting and financial planning are universal habits among wealth builders. The distinction between income and net worth becomes more pronounced over time. Intergenerational wealth transfer requires careful management to preserve assets. Economic factors, including tax policy and market conditions, influence accumulation rates. Demographic shifts may create new opportunities for wealth building in emerging sectors. The relationship between occupation choice and financial success remains consistent across economic cycles. Wealth preservation demands different skills than wealth creation. Family dynamics significantly impact multi-generational financial stability. Financial education gaps can hinder wealth accumulation regardless of income level. The concentration of millionaires in certain professions reflects market demands and profit margins. Sustainable wealth requires continuous adaptation to economic changes. The principles of wealth accumulation remain stable despite evolving market conditions. Thank you for listening to this audiobook. Your interaction matters, so don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.